Hello, hello, everyone. It is Testimony Thursday. And wow, do we have a special evening for you. We are so excited that you're taking time out of your life with your family to learn and grow, because growth is where it all happens. You've got to grow if you want to go. If you want to go on these amazing incentive trips, we're still down here in Park City, Utah. Wow, wow, wow. We'll talk more about that on our Sunday business training this Sunday. It was fabulous. There's another group that's here right now. There are so many SPDs that they literally have to do two groups of people. two completely groups of people are coming at different times. It's so powerful. I want you guys right now to grab your phones, copy and paste, duplicate 5 people right now. Could be teammates, could be new people. Go do that right now. I'm going to give you 60 seconds because you are not going to want to miss this beautiful Erin that's speaking tonight. We've got beautiful testimonies. And I'm going to tell you what, your friends are going to be like sad that they missed this. So make sure your team knows if you don't lead them, they're not getting on these meetings. How many of you know that? I always say if leaders are not getting on their meetings, there's no way the team knows. They don't even know about these meetings, right? So it's so important that as leaders, we lead ourselves first. But if you're just showing up every week only for yourself, come on, you guys. This is the servant leader business. This is the business where we've got to get 2, 3, 5, 10 new people on these meetings, because this is how this thing grows. This is how this thing multiplies. This is how we become the light of the world to share with others how they can take back their power. Yes, thank you, Jesus. But back their power with this incredible phototherapy patch. How many of you know this thing is creating miracles? You just got to get around a group of people that are wearing it, and that's all they're talking about is the miracles that are happening. So, all right, we gave you 60 seconds. We have a very special guest, Erin, tonight. But before Erin, we want to bring on an amazing woman. Her name is Tiffany White. Let me see if I can find Tiffany White. Wave, Tiffany. There she is, TLW. Let me add the pin there and unmute you, because this is Testimony Thursday. So we always kick these off with lots of great testimonies. So how are you, Tiffany?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. And I am excited to announce my friend, Diane. She is retired from the Air Force. She's got a really long title that she did. She's been in 3 different battles. So she's going to explain what she has experienced. She's kind of like a one-patch wonder.
Wow, I love it. Tiffany, thanks for, first of all, thanks for sharing and caring and hopping on tonight and loving Diane enough to tell her about the patch. That's what I always think. When people say, how do you do it? Well, do you love people? Tell them, right? We want them well. So, hey, I am telling you what, Diane, thank you for serving. You may or may not know this about me, but I bleed red, white, blue, baby. I mean, I got it on tonight.
Awesome.
But my dad was a Marine, and I have such an honor and such an adoration and admiration for all who serve. So thank you for doing that for our country. But please take it away. Come on, we want to hear what happened with you. This is amazing.
Okay, well, my name is Diane Cardin. I was in the Air Force, retired, and then also medically, of course, retired. So I used to fly on the large cargo planes, the 4-jet engine C-141, which ended up becoming the C-17. So I was basically in charge of about probably 75% of the aircraft. I loaded President's limousine, Secret Service, you name it, missile detonators, OSI to inspect Russia. The OSI to inspect nuclear weapons in Russia. So I'm basically in charge of the loading, the strapping down of the cargo, the lifting the ramps, pushing in the struts, measuring the change for restraint for 4 G-forces of shift.
Wow.
So I'm actually on an aircraft. So I'm doing airdrop. I was also airdrop qualified. So I've got paratroopers at my door. We configure the aircraft for that. It's a lot of physical work, tons of physical work, also a lot of physics. So I was a load master aeronautical engineer. So it was a lot of work on my body. So as I got older, the arthritis started showing up. I'm actually bone on bone, 4, 5, and 6, actually 4, 5, 6, and 7 discs. So I'm actually talking to the spine surgeons as we speak. Coming up this.
Well, I'm going to tell you in Jesus' name, you can cancel those appointments because you're growing the cartilage back.
Yeah.
That spine is repairing and regenerating as we speak. That started the moment you put that patch on. So there you go, girls. You might want to push back those appointments just a tad.
I'll tell you what, once Tiffany had me try the patch, I called her and I said, oh my God, I can feel this immediately. And the one day it was shooting down to where I get neuropathy, where I can't feel the tips of my fingers. That day I called her, I said, Tiffany, I can actually feel my fingers and I'm not dropping a fork or a spoon when I'm eating because I can feel my fingers.
Wow, wow, wow. What a blessing. I mean, that was like day one.
That was day one. And then, every time, and then, with arthritis going down the lumbar of my spine, my right hip, my left shoulder, the osteoarthritis and stenosis in my neck. I mean, I'm screaming in pain and I'm starting to sweep the floor. I'm starting to mop the floor. Where I was in so much pain, where I was in so much pain that I couldn't do those things. No.
We're getting excited about cleaning, ladies. Come on, girls. No, it's so true. And the fact that that happened so quickly for you, what a complete blessing. What a miracle. And I know it's just going to continue to get better and better and better. I mean, that's all we hear when we're down at these events with people that have been wearing the patch now. I visited with a gentleman for 16 years. He's a doctor. He's been patching. And I don't know if you guys saw the video this morning of my friend Danny McDaniel, but he got a little carried away on the trampoline because he was watching us jump on it. And he thought he was, 24-year-old again. Anyway, long story short, last night at the party, he was kind of hobbling around. I said, Danny, did you hurt yourself? He goes, oh, I don't know what I did to my ankle. And I said to Diane, triple X39 directly over that point of pain. I had never heard that in my life, but I heard it from this doctor who's down here in Park City right now with us. He said, when you triple patch with the X39 on a really bad area, it works. And I was like, gosh, I've never heard that. He triple stacked it last night before he went to bed. And then he shot that video this morning from the airport. He was texting me in disbelief. Wow. He said, I thought I had fractured my ankle last night. It was that much pain. So triple patching. But for you, it happened with one patch. But I am going to tell you, if those areas, now that I learned about this triple patch business, and the guy that told me was a doctor, I just think, okay, there's something to this. So those really aggravated areas, you may want to do that in some of those spinal areas. Just a suggestion, right?
I do.
Yeah. I would give it a shot. It's not going to hurt. It can only help.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best is yet to come. Wow. Debbie Martin's asking around each other. No, triple patch stacking. It's okay. like a triple, like a Big Mac on top of each other there, Debbie. Okay, minus the Big Mac. You got what I'm saying? Stack them on top of each other. All right. Hey, you girls are a blessing. The fact that you got that sweet dog sitting there makes me love you even more because, there's dog lovers and then there's everybody else. So, oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Yes, you are my people. You are my people.
This is Erin. This is my service dog.
Oh, that's your service dog. Oh my goodness gracious. Aren't they a blessing? Wow.
You can even see him.
Again, I'm so excited about this testimony, but you got to promise me that as you continue to heal and restore and regenerate, we want to hear more from you. I always say the story doesn't stop there, right? This is too good not to share. So would you please continue to share with us your journey as your body regenerates and repairs itself? And wow, you're a blessing to us tonight. Both of you ladies, thanks for getting on with those beautiful animals. We love it. We love it. Thank you, Sherry, for lining that up. Sherry McCants, our great PD, soon to be SPD over there. She's lining these bales up. So again, thank you. And thank you for serving. And
you're welcome. Thank you.
I just pray whole healing and restoration over every area of your body to bring light and to bring it to those areas that need the repair, the regeneration, and anything that is not of God just is going to be leaving your body in Jesus' name. And you are going to be completely healed and delivered of all those ailments with no surgeries in Jesus' name. Come on. Out of the surgery room. Awesome. All right, you guys. Have a great night. You
too. Thank you.
I love it. All right, moving on from those special ladies. Wow. We're just so blessed by LifeWave, aren't we? These meetings. I mean, it's just a total blessing to be able to hear and see. I always say the eyes can't unsee. The ears can't unhear what we're hearing over here. So be excited about it, you guys. Make sure you're getting plenty of people on. Okay, we've got a very special woman on tonight. Her name is Erin, and I just want to read to you something that Erin has wrote recently. This gal is like a superstar. Okay, first of all, she's a superstar in health. She's a business coach. She's a life coach. She is an empowerment and success coach. She has many, many titles. She's a woman of God. But she said this on a recent post. It says, if your self-image is small, your vision stays caged. I was like, oh, I love that. I love that, Erin. If your self-image is small, your vision stays caged. She says this, listen to this. With the appropriate energy, vibration, and frequency, you'll be empowered to self-master, self-heal, and transform your self-image in ways you never thought possible, resulting in attaining the health, the wealth, relationships, spirituality, and happiness you've been searching for. A rich and prosperous era in all areas of your life. All right. She's talking about freedom. And I said to Meredith, it needs to be live long. You know how we have the motto, live long, live young, right? I said, we need to add live free onto the bottom of that, because that is where we are and what we're doing. So let me unmute this beautiful Erin. Add pin. Can you unmute yourself, gorgeous? Oh my gosh. So Erin Heenan Ley is her name. Ley.
Like the potato chip.
Like the potato chip,
There
but
you
much
go.
different, much better. So tell me, first of all, did I get everything kind of right about what
Yes.
you do for a living? Yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
you were also brought on by Sherry McCants, and then of course your great sponsor. How is he,
Andy.
by the way? Andy.
He's amazing. Oh my God, he's absolutely amazing.
He's so great. And yeah.
I bring everybody on a call with Andy, because Andy explains all the science. I mean, everything.
He understands it. He's got it. Now, Kat.
He's a godsend, a blessing.
So Erin,
Amazing.
tell us your journey, how it happened. How'd you get started with the patch?
Yeah.
And tell us the direction you're moving, because I look at you on social media. I'm like, girl, you are going to help so many people, and you've had great results yourself, and you're getting to see some of these miracles like we're experiencing with everybody who wears the patch, right?
Yes, yes. And, first of all, thank you for having me. This is amazing. And what a huge group, what an amazing group. And I believe it was Diane in the military. Yes, you can, the body is designed to go back to code, to heal itself. It's just, I did it with cancer in 1991 when the doctors kept telling me I was going to die. And I learned about meditation and visualization and affirmations. And I keep saying now, I wish I had the patch. I wish I had the patch.
Right, right.
Crazy non-Hodgkin's lymphoblastic lymphoma, 2.5 years of egregious chemo. The doses I was getting in Manhattan were beyond the local cancer hospital's legal limits. I was 25 years old.
Wow.
And they told me I'd never have kids. But I learned about visualization, meditation, affirmations, all these things you could do for yourself. So when the doctors came in and I had a blood count of 0, a white blood count of 0, an infection, I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. But now I was like Rhonda Byrne from the beginning of the movie The Secret, only it was 1991. It was before the movie The Secret, and I was doing The Secret. And they came in, they called my parents to come say goodbye to me because they couldn't get my 7 blood transfusions, crazy antibiotics. They couldn't get the blood count up from 0. So they told me I wasn't going to make it out of the hospital. I was going to die. So I was 25 and naive, and I'm like, get the hell out of my room. You didn't tell me about meditation, visualization, affirmations, all these things we could do for ourselves. They thought I was nuts. It was 1991. Nobody was open to this. They thought it was crazy. So they left crying. I was annoyed, because they didn't understand what I was saying. And I kept living. And then they swore I'd never have kids. I went on to have 3 kids, and I did all this. But if I had the patch, my life would have been so much easier. Everything would have been expedited, like instead of chemo and radiation, all this other stuff that's so incredibly toxic. There's so many other things that we can do, including the patch. And the patch supports the body for the body to do what the body's designed to do, which is heal itself. So my story for this time, I got the shot, right? This is my hero's journey number 2. I got the shot, the vaccine at the end of 2021, put me into congestive heart failure. So here I am, I'm going to San Diego, I'm doing book signings across the nation, Park City, Utah, like all over the place, Vegas and everything else. Like every month, multiple times a month between 21 when they lifted it and up until June, but it slowed down. But in 2020, at the end of 2021, got the vaccine, diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and they put me on these 4 medicines. okay, I turned it around, meditation, visualization, everything fixed itself. I almost died with that. My ejection fraction was 26. It was bad. And so I reversed it, but then the meds, they kept me on the meds. So I'm on the meds for too long, and all of a sudden I'm walking through JFK and I can't walk. Like everything, my equilibrium was off from the meds. And I'm walking through JFK to go to a book signing and go to a conference. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't even. I'm speaking on stage with Mark Victor Hansen and Sharon Lechter and Paul Blanchard
Wow.
and a lot of people. And I had to get to Scottsdale. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't even walk. Most people would just go home. I'm like, get me to the gate. So they put me in a wheelchair, got me to the gate. I got to the event, and a mutual friend said, when I explained what was going on, she said, I have something for you, slapped a patch on me. And I was like, a patch? Like, what? What is a patch gonna do on the back of my neck? I had
Right.
no idea about any of this. My hand to God, I was struggling with this for weeks. I went to a chiropractor. I was trying everything to get this weird equilibrium off balance. I had to hold on to things just to stand up to talk to people. Within an hour, my hand to God, within an hour, I had clarity. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh my God. Like because I'm saying to them, how am I going to speak on stage in 2 days like this? Like, I don't even know how. And then the only thing they had was director's chairs. I'm like, even with that, it's not going to be easy. But within an hour, I had clarity. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had breakfast the next day with Paul Blanchard, who he's big in the personal development realm also. And he
Yeah.
said, Erin, when I told him, I'm like, oh my God, this patch, this is amazing. And he said one of his close friends was one of the initial investors in the company, and he swears by it. And I just have not stopped wearing it. I gave it to my best friend, Margie. We both saw results. And at first, Andy's like, you want to do it as a business? I'm like, I have 3 businesses. My house was under construction. I was in a hotel with my kids and my dog. And I'm like, I don't want to, not right now. I got 3 businesses and a lot going on right now. And then when I saw the results with Margie, this light bulb went up in my head. And I'm like, of course I want to do this. I mean, like, it's if all I have to do is just say, look at me, look at her, look at this thing is amazing with the results.
Right.
And now I don't even ask my loved ones. I insist, you're doing it.
Yeah.
So I would never go another day without it. And now I don't have any meds. I work with a holistic doctor. I actually fired my doctors because they kept insisting I was going to go back on those 4 meds. That it was the only thing. Ladies and gentlemen, when a
Yeah.
doctor, an MD says, like that you're going to die or that this is the last thing that they have, there's other alternatives. Go find another doctor, go find something else, but definitely use these patches. I swear by
So,
them.
yeah, Erin, I mean, I love what you're saying because it's right at my alley. I mean, God designed our bodies to heal, right? I
Totally.
always say we're healing machines. And when you flip the switch from the frequency of I'm sick and talking about all that stuff to
Yeah.
I'm a healing machine. I remember somebody on our team, Mama Kissy, she literally was, debilitating with the RA for 20 years or whatever, got on the patch, and within 1 month, she was off of 9 meds. And she began walking around. All her Facebooks were, I'm a healing machine. And it was like a different frequency happened to this woman. She took on a different energy. And here's the thing, we don't know a lot about energy, right? People don't know, we don't talk about energy enough, but everything is energy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything
Yeah.
is energy. Every thought you
Energy,
think,
frequency, and vibration. Energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola
yeah,
Tesla, Einstein, they've been speaking about it for a long time. But the people, those that are in power and everything else, they don't want us to know about it because if you know about it, you can't be controlled.
right,
So I talk about self-image, just self-empowerment, self-mastery, which are the 3 U's, you with your higher self, that's the self-image. And then self-empowerment is you on purpose, you with your purpose, right? Working with
right,
that. And then self-mastery is just literally empowerment, like when you can walk out into the 3D and they can't touch you because you understand energy, vibration, and frequency. You can't be controlled. You can self-heal. You can just, once you get into alignment with who you truly are, you're unstoppable. That's
that's right.
manifestation, that you're a conscious creator. Everybody in this room is a conscious creator. Most people are just not conscious of that or conscious. A lot of people aren't thinking. Everybody in this room is because you're on the
Yep.
patch.
And I also think that people have given away their power. You know what I
Oh,
mean? And so as
totally.
soon as you take back your power, you're not relying on the medical doctor to tell
Right.
you your next step. you have this understanding that your body is designed by God to heal. Now we have lots of patches, right? There's 12 different patches that we have, but the bottom line is we started with X39. I'm sure you started with X39, but back to frequency, each one of these patches is literally allowing a different frequency to enter the body, which, because some people say, well, how does this patch know to do this and that patch know to do that, right? First of all, start with X39 because that activates the GHK copper peptide, which activates our stem cells. So number one, that you need the stem cells. Stem cells are the fountain of youth. Without them, you're gone. I love my friend Teresa Getz, who was down here. She said, when people ask about this disease or that disease or this other disease, she goes, listen, stem cells don't know disease names. Stem cells do not know disease names, guys. Stem cells will just go to the greatest area of need in your body. And in your case, it maybe went to your heart, Erin, or wherever you needed it, right?
Right.
And so the bottom line is and you'll have people ask you every day, what we'll do for this, what we'll do for that. Everybody's kind of in that what's in it for me club. And we've all been there where we want to be healed ourselves, or we have a child or a parent and we're there for us, right? But the truth of the matter is the stem cells don't know disease names. Okay. Right. So they just know inflammation. So they are going to those areas of the strongest, most, devastating inflammation in the body, and they begin to repair it. So how do all these patches work is frequency. They literally are changing the frequency of your body. And when you change your frequency, you change your life. Of course, your health's going to get better, right?
Yes. And David Schmidt brought this here at the perfect time. And I believe God put him here at this time. And Andy, I say this all the time, right, Andy? I love this guy. I can't wait to shake his hand. But he is here at the perfect time because of all the things that they're putting in the air, everything they're putting in the soil and the food, and they're making us sick intentionally so that we go to big pharma, we go to the doctors, and we have to pay into that system and the insurance and everything else. It's a system. You want to get out of the system, and it's a friend of mine said, Erin, why do you love helping people get out of self-doubt? Why do you love helping people get really good with themselves, get aligned with themselves? And I said, because I love sticking my thumb in the eye of evil. I believe that self-doubt is evil. We're not born with self-doubt. We're not born with these self-limiting beliefs and fear and all this other stuff. And you guys recommended, I saw somebody recommended the book, Outwitting the Devil.
Yes, that's the book of the month for This Is It team.
Okay, I was at my friend, Sharon Lecter is the one who annotated that book. It's an amazing book. So I was on the phone with Sharon and I'm like, oh my God, because I listened to it on Audible. And
you guys don't know who Sharon Lecter is. She's Robert Kiyosaki's accountant.
No, she was an accountant, but Robert Kiyosaki was like this real estate mogul in Hawaii. Yep. He came to Sharon with a cash flow board game idea and said, let's do this and everything else. And she said, no, we're going to write books. So we're going to do that, but we're going to write books. So she partnered with Robert, made him the face of everything. And she co-authored all of those books, did the cash flow game. Her husband is a friend of mine also, Mike. He's an IP attorney. So they built out his whole empire, Robert Kiyosaki's empire. Wow. So Sharon was with Robert for like 10 years, and then they differences or whatever, they parted ways. Another gentleman that I'm friendly with, who I absolutely love, Don Green, he heads up the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So he scooped up Sharon at the Napoleon Hill Foundation and said, I want you to annotate a book called Think and Grow Rich for Women. So there's by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, right? We all know Think and Grow Rich. So he had her annotate Think and Grow Rich for Women. And then just a couple of years ago, recently, he had her annotate the book Outwitting the Devil. And because Napoleon,
you guys, if you haven't read this, you guys, it literally is the book of the month this month for This Is It team. So if you've not read it, this is like, it literally is like unbelievable.
Yes.
It's the most incredible book. Again, it's the book of the month for This Is It team. You should be listening or reading or listening or however you choose to take in the information, but you got to do it because these books will change your life, your mind, your business, all of it. Is Sharon Lecter on the patch yet, Erin? We've got to get her on the patch.
I know. I have to ask her about that. So, but I do know that other friends of mine, and I can't say who they are in the personal development industry, a lot of them are. A lot of them are. Yes. But unless they give me permission, I don't want to say if they are, if they're not. You know what I mean? Yeah. But believe me, they're smart people. That's all I'm going to say. So just to give you a little bit of insight also about Napoleon Hill with the Outwitting the Devil, his family didn't want him to to publish it because it had the word devil in it. Right. So his wife was like, I don't want to do it. Then the generations, the kids, grandkids, they didn't want to do it. They donated the manuscript to the Napoleon Hill Foundation. I listened to the Audible. So what this is Napoleon Hill interviewing the devil, asking the devil, you know, like, who do you prey on? Who is it that you love to go to and get inside their head and their heart and start to control them and make them do things that they don't want to do? And I'm not going to give away the whole story. The Audible, and I said, Sharon, oh my God, I was on the plane listening to the Audible version, and they were perfect actors as voices for the devil and Napoleon Hill. And it was, if you don't have a definiteness of purpose, if you don't know, if you don't
You're
know,
a drifter.
right,
I've always said this, when
right.
people are drifting, they're the easiest to just like, they end up with everything. Crazy stuff happens. Do not drift in life. You guys,
Right.
like that, the drifting is, and I said this to Scott a couple nights ago. I said, a lot of the elderly, they lose that sense of purpose because
Yes.
maybe they retire or whatever happens in their life. And so, you know what? A lot of times they take on the sickness identity because now the next person who spoke something over, which by the way, all these diagnoses are like word curses. Anyway, this is spoken over them. And now they become an expert on Parkinson's or MS or
Right.
whatever, you know what I mean? And that's all they're talking about and thinking about it and literally ruminating on. And so it's so important that we have a definite sense of purpose. So we are not flailing around. We do not want to be in the static. I call it the static. It's like in between stations on a TV or radio, like we have the tuner where you're on a concrete station. When you're in the static, that's where your health is no good. And that is really something I'm going to tell you. The patch has given so many people concrete clarity. Like when they put on X39, I can't tell you the number of people that tell me their brain fog has lifted. You know,
Right.
so it's almost like it tunes them in. Erin, what do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Again, it's frequency. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do with those crystals. In the the acupuncture points and the whole circadian system, and you know the way it works is so beautiful because again, it's in alignment with how the body functions. Medicine is not in alignment with the body. Let me just say, medicine has its place for crisis. If we
Right.
get into a car accident and we break a leg, or you're having a heart attack, or you need your appendix out as an emergency, medicine has its place. And I thank God for that we have it for that. But for the long term, they don't really know what they're doing. And they keep you on meds, and then those meds mess up other organs. They don't really have it dialed in, you know,
Right.
so they can take care of the crisis. But after us, what we need to do as humans is we need to work on getting the crisis out of us. In other words, what causes the disease, if the mind is not at ease, the body goes into dis-ease, right? So you need to get the crisis out of you. Who do you resent? You know, who are you holding a grudge against? Who do you that you're angry at? Or, you know, remorse, regret, guilt and shame are the lowest vibration you could be at. And then if you're there, then it's a frequency. So if you're at that frequency, that low frequency, you're going to attract people at that frequency. You're not going to attract the person that's in love, joy, and inner peace when you're in guilt and shame. You're going to just attract more of that. And then that's when people start commiserating, and then it grows. The more they speak about it and, you know, think about it, speak about it, then they start acting on it, and it becomes a lifestyle. And you are the sum of the 5 you surround yourselves with, you know? And if you're talking about like judging people and gossiping and that solo vibe, you don't want to be around any of that. You know, you want to talk
Or
about
even
people.
sickness. And I've said this, I'm going to say this out loud because some of these Facebook groups are for certain disease conditions or whatever. I go into these Facebook groups and I'm like, we have a solution. Like this is a solution that is not like, let's keep our fingers crossed. We've seen remarkable, miraculous testimonies. And I will go into these Facebook groups and it's crazy. The admins, like I was in a Parkinson's group and the guy's like, he literally kicked me out of the group because I was talking about my mom's results with the patch. And I thought to myself, these Facebook groups are just a big cauldron
Commiserating.
of misery. Yeah, they
Yeah.
want everyone to stay sick. And so I'm like, because here's the truth, guys. If someone comes to me with a legitimate, amazing solution that's going to bring healing, restoration, regeneration without the use of drugs, tell me about it. I want to hear, right? But instead, they're kicking the solution people out of these groups. I'm like, what? And so it goes to show you though, but you're coming in with a different frequency. So I actually am, Erin, and maybe you too, I am looking for people that want to be well, that are ready to change their story. If you're ready to change your story, I'm your gal. If you want to stay stuck, I'm not your gal, right?
Can I tell you why
No.
those other people want to stay stuck?
Yes.
Because if you change or even try to change that self-limiting belief that they have, what's called a terror barrier comes up in their subconscious mind and they fight it with everything they got because it's called a paradigm. A paradigm is a cluster of beliefs and habits stored in the subconscious mind. So everybody in that group gets the support that they need to keep them small, to keep them sick, because they think that that's okay, that, everybody's validating everything. So here you come in with the white horse, like, I can save you, I can help you, let's get you out of this. And they're like, oh, no, we can't break this, that we can't break this glass house, because their terror barrier comes up and it's their subconscious mind trying to keep them safe because it's all Mary and John and Joe and everybody, like it's all they know.
Right.
So if they hear you, they're like, oh, she's, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And we got this, and she'll mess us up. They're not going to be open to it until hopefully you got one or two or three in there that say, let me just private message her. Let me just private message. But the majority of them, that they're not ready because of their subconscious mind.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love everything you're saying. I read this thing. I'm going to read it to you guys right now. It says, when hope, enthusiasm, and faith are combined through definiteness of purpose, they give you access to unlimited mind power. Let me say that again. When hope, and I always feel like with this patch, we are giving people hope, man. I mean, I see people flip the switch, and hope is not a strategy, but hope is important, right? Faith,
Totally.
hope, and love are very, very important. It says this in the word, but when hope, enthusiasm, and faith are combined through definiteness of purpose, we've got to be laser focused. We've got to get on purpose, right? We cannot float or flail or, sit in that static anymore because you're not moving in your life. The static is like, it's like the black and white ants fighting at 12 o'clock when you turn on the TV as a kid. Okay. If you're younger than 25, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you're older, you turn on the TV at midnight and there was black and white ants fighting, right? That's the static. Do you know how many people live in the static? That's not a definiteness of purpose. But when you get these combined, the hope, enthusiasm, faith, and that on point purpose, you're going to have access to unlimited mind power. Your mind, I've always said, take back your power by believing you can. We've got the power to change. We've got the power to heal. And like you said, a big thing is flipping that body from that sympathetic state over to that parasympathetic state, which X39 does that. We know that the Eon patch will pull us back to that parasympathetic state, which is why when some people just put the Eon patch on, it's like, boom, their whole body goes from that, contraction, constriction, restriction and their body says, oh, I'm able to heal. This is incredible.
Yeah. Can I tell you a story about the ion with my son?
Yes, please.
Oh my God, what a testimony for this one. Okay, my son is 27 and he does heavy labor, like that's what he works and it's heavy labor. So his foot was killing him and he doesn't complain. He's built like a linebacker, he's a big guy. He never complains. He could barely limp. His foot was killing him. And I said, is it the balls of your feet or the arch? Like, what is it? He said, no, Ma, it's like a nail going through the top of my foot. And he could literally barely limp. Forget about walking. He could barely limp. And I said, just please, I bought the whole kids these patches and everything. They'll get there. But I said, just do me a favor. Just put the ion patch on your foot. You have nothing to lose. Let's see what happens, right? So he put the ion patch on his foot. I had him sleep with it. And then he gets up and he leaves for work. He took 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And he came home and I said, how's your foot? And he said, honestly, it's a little bit better. Now he's 27. I'm mom. I was waiting for oh, it didn't work. And he said, honestly, Ma, it's a little bit better. And I said, all right. And so instead of me having to be proactive and say, don't forget to put the patch on, he's like, I'm not going to forget to bring the patch with me. And he put the patch on. It was gone in 2 days. I wasn't sure if it was an infection. I wasn't sure what was going on. 2 days gone. And this is just this past week.
Oh, I mean, all day long, right? Like I always say, we just need a patch arsenal, right? Yeah. Like you guys need to. So when people have that old medicine cabinet, we got to get rid of that and get into a patch arsenal because that is like you have an arsenal of different frequencies, that are going to allow your body to heal in different ways. So it's so powerful to think that we, with this little tiny tool, this little tiny patch, $3.30 a day. Are you kidding me? We can take back our power with our health. We can literally, I love all the marketing where it says power on with X39. I'm like, because it literally is switching our power to that state where it can heal finally again. So, wow, Erin, we could talk to you all night, but we're going to have a special training with you just as a biz coach, success coach, to move more into those skill sets and those strategies. We'd love to hear more about that because it's so powerful. But everybody, let's give it up for Erin tonight on this. She's such a testimony of the patch, got her health back, got off all the drugs. Now she's patching everybody she comes across. And again, hey, thanks again for that great reminder of Outwitting the Devil, because that is the book of the month this month. And if you've not read it, and it's amazing that Erin is good friends with Sharon Lecter. I mean, let's just say it. That's kind of cool over there. That's a really cool thing, you guys. So incredible. But Erin, we'll have you on again for a longer training with the biz. And I know you've written a book. Do you want to talk about your book that you wrote real quick before we move into the presentation?
Sure. I wrote a book during the pandemic called Work Love, because a lot of corporations, were closing down. Everybody started working remote, feeling disrespected and isolated, alone, So I was like, okay, here in New York and everywhere, sky's falling, sky's falling. What's the creative opportunity here? That's a little bit of a business tip, right? When everything is hitting the fan, what is the creative opportunity here? So I thought, write a book, to help those business owners create a culture of love in the workplace, because it's so necessary right now. So it's my first fictional book for adults. I have 4 of my own books that I wrote myself, and I'm a contributing author in over 20 other books with a lot of people from the movie The Secret and everything else. But this book specifically is about team building and literally establishing a culture of love, as opposed to people talking around the cooler about this one and that one and everything. Finding out each other's skill set, loving, appreciating each other's skill set, and figuring out how to work together in a much better way. So that's that one. And then I love helping people create a vision for their life. My students, it's the first thing that I work with my students on, separate from my private coaching. Create a vision for your life so you have your definiteness of purpose. So that's the foundation. The foundation is that vision, personally and professionally. Without it, you're drifting. So that's what I love to do.
Definiteness of purpose. Say that out loud, everybody. Definiteness. Type that in the chat. Everybody type in the chat. Definiteness of purpose. Like no more drifting.
That's
no
right.
more 1 foot in, 1 foot out, wondering why your business isn't growing. No more wearing the patch once every 6th day and wondering why your body's not healing and regenerating. Come on. We got to get consistent. We got to get persistent and on purpose with patching and the vision for this business, you guys. It's a big deal for all of us. So Erin, you've been a blessing. Gosh, you're just a blessing. I want to hug you. And we love her. I tell you what, I love it. Love wins, man. And I just say that when people say, who do I patch? I'm like, pull up your cell phone. Let's look at the text message. Do you love any of those people that you texted today? Okay, let's start there. Let's tell them about the patch because you love these people, right?
And spread the love. Spread the love.
Yeah.
That's and be authentic as you're doing it, because authenticity has an even higher vibration than love. But when you can stay in love authentically, you'll be unstoppable.
Oh, I believe it. I love it. I love you, Erin.
I love you too. And I love everybody in this group. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for contributing tonight. You're amazing. Wow, wow, wow.
So are you. So are you.
Thank you. So we'll have her back because obviously she's an amazing human being, an amazing woman. We are moving into the presentation. If you came for LifeWave and what's it all about? Well, you just got a blast of goodness. Lucky you. You are so blessed and highly favored to hear from amazing women with amazing testimonies tonight. I'm going to show you one more testimony, and it's my friend Beamy, and she's 76, and she's an SPD, which is the highest rank in LifeWave. Okay. And she was here this morning with me at breakfast, and I said, Beamy, and she's actually the one who brought in Mickey Willis. If you guys know who Mickey Willis is, he wrote the Plandemic series, right? So she's the one who actually patched up Mickey and made that introduction with Mickey Willis and David Schmidt. Now, listen, the movie Be the Light is coming out soon. Like in the next couple months, you're going to hear about Be the Light. It's all about David Schmidt. It's all about LifeWave. It's all about phototherapy. Wow. So from the patches, X39 to the water, it's all going to be in the movie. Can you imagine? We're going to have a movie that we can watch on Netflix about LifeWave. I mean, are you kidding? But Beamy is the little lady who actually brought in brought in this Mickey Willis. And if you haven't went over to watch the pandemicseries.com, wow, wow, wow. I mean, it's a big dose of truth for those of you that are looking for that. So I'm going to show you very, very quickly a great little video that I just posted so you guys can hear Beamy. Again, she's the highest rank in LifeWave. She's 76. Okay, so any of you, if you're in your 70s, wow, you are about to live life on purpose. Okay, so imagine this. And if you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, listen, I went to my very first convention. By the way, we're going to talk about next level because all of you need to be at the convention. I got a list of everybody who's registered, so I know if you're there or not, and that tells me if you're serious or not. That's all I'm going to say. But we're going to the next level, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me the very first convention I went to. 16 years ago, 17 years ago, when Scott and I started network marketing, we didn't have any money. Like, we were broke. We were a broke young couple, young married couple with little kids. One was nursing on the breast. And we started our first network marketing business. We didn't know about it. We had never been trained in it. Like, we didn't know if it was good, bad, or ugly. Like, we just had no working knowledge of it, right? But we were open to health. We were open to alternative solutions for health. We were open to alternative ways to make money because I was driving an Omni that didn't have any heat in the winter, and it doubled as a freezer because our freezer was broke in the house. Okay, so when you're really hard up, I think when your back's against the wall, you're open to things. Anyway, we went to this convention. We had our sponsor that sponsored us this network marketing opportunity. We went to this convention. We drove through the night in a 16-passenger van down to Utah, where we are right now. So it's a fitting story. We showed up at this convention, you guys, and there was a room full of 5,000 people laughing, joyous, celebrating one another, loving one another. And I was like, I love this. This is so unique, this culture. For me, I love fun. I mean, some of you need a little bit more joy in your life. I know, I've been there. So if you're on here tonight and you're saying, I need the joy, Renita, I need the laughter and the happiness. Well, we got to this event and there was a bunch of happy people, like that movie or that song, Shiny, Happy People Laughing. Remember that? And so I'm standing in this room and all of a sudden they started announcing rank. And we were something called a gold at the time because we had just got started. We didn't know like you could make the kind of money that we're making now, but we knew that it was an opportunity, and we were gold. And so they stood up, and they're celebrating you. And then I said, "Well, who's a ruby?" I swear to God, there was an angel standing next to me who was like a 79-year-old angel, and she stood up, and they said rubies make whatever $150,000 a year, which was big money for this struggling young couple. And I looked at this woman and I said, "You're a ruby?" And she said, "Oh yes, I'm a ruby." And it was like $150,000 a year. And I looked at Scott and I said, "We're going to be rich." And the funny thing about this story is, as I said, this 79-year-old woman probably was the biggest motivator at the whole convention, because I just thought, what one person can do, so can another. Like it says this in the Word of God, that God wants us all to have this abundant life. And so you guys, long story short, you got to show up at these events. We're going to talk about next level in a second, but I want to share Beamy with you guys because this little lady is a gift from God. She is such a little go-getter. And again, remember, she's 76 years old, and you never would believe it by looking at her. And listen, you guys, get your cameras out and screen record. If you're not doing that yet, get that out right now. You got to hear what this woman's real age is. She went in and had one of these bio tests done where they test all these markers internally. Wait until you hear how old they said she was. Okay, this is Beamy. You guys ready? Let's go. And she actually sponsored Mickey Willis. That's right. I forget about that.
Well, I brought him in.
You brought him in, and he's wearing the patches, and thank God, because now Be the Light, the documentary's coming up pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
So, but tell us who you are, Beamy, besides beautiful and amazing.
I am a health advocate, and I have been in health and wellness alternative for over 45 years.
Wow.
And I co-founded a healing center in California, and I'm all about everything natural.
I love that.
And I have meditated and eaten organic and exercised for probably 40 years, which you love.
Yes.
And
your whole life has been health.
Has helped. So let me tell you, if you start young, at 76, you're going to have a leg up on everybody.
Hell, look at this lady. She's just a little, tiny, beautiful, healthy fireball.
Yeah.
76. Think about this. It's unbelievable. Building a huge LifeWave business.
Yes, absolutely.
She's an SPD, which is why she earned this free trip here.
Yeah.
To Deer Valley.
Global business, and I love it, and I get to help everybody.
And tell me the best, what's your favorite miracle, health miracle? Because you're a health advocate for 45 years. What's your favorite health miracle you've seen in this business?
There's so many.
Oh, I know.
I mean, the favorite health miracle, getting somebody to put the walker down and not have to use it and walk and have flexibility. Having somebody not have a rotator cuff operation because now they can move their arm.
Right.
Having your gums grow back because you're regenerating and the pockets are getting smaller.
Yeah.
Having your biochemical age and your chronological age be completely different, where my biological age is between 35 and 40 versus my chronological age, which is 76.
Oh my God. Biggie, we love you. Thank you for sharing. You are the light, girl. Wow, guys, her biological age, did you catch that, was between 35 and 40? Come on. And the woman is 76. What a little powerhouse. And again, 76, just totally crushing this business, you guys, making moves, making a difference in so many people's lives. Like she said, I mean, it just doesn't get old. Which one should I tell you type deal, right? So did it flip over to my slideshow? Can you guys see my slideshow up there right now? Can everybody see that? Yes? Okay. Next level, I want to make sure if you guys are not registered, you've got to get to this event. Dreams are born at convention. Leaders are born at conventions. And if nothing else, just to get around the beautiful souls and people like that beautiful Beamy and so many others. So many of you I know are already registered, but if you're not, it would be a great investment into yourself. This is not just an investment into your business. You will grow if you go. And this is at convention.com. They will sell out. So make sure you get registered. And again, we've got the LifeWave conference coming up in Anaheim, California. They are going to tell us within the next month the 2 headline acts of that, all of the science. David's going to be releasing all those new clinical studies about the water. There's brand new clinical studies about the X39 and how it actually is increasing our mitochondria. All of that brand new science is going to be launched at convention. Again, this will sell out. Last year, the headliners, don't forget, were Adam Levine and Gwen Stefani. David promises the 2 acts this year are better than those. So just to come to the concert alone, the fact that you're coming to learn, grow, and win with all of the science and all of the fellowship and all of the stories and to meet the leadership and to celebrate one another, you got to be there. So make sure you can take a picture of that little QR code. People say, which one should I be at? Both. You're worth it. Baby, you're worth it. Get to both of those events. They're so important for your growth, your development, and also your business. Listen, if you go, you grow. But if you take your team, you're going to explode this business and help so many people on so many continents. Like Beamy says, Renita, I've got a huge global business. The woman is 76. She's got a huge global business. Okay, so none of us really have a reason not to have great success here. Hang on a second. My computer froze. Oh, no, it came back. Let me do that one more time. I apologize. So let's get to the brass tacks. I'm going to get through this in the next 13 minutes. Watch this. So hang on a second. One more convention that you guys need to know about. Let me get back here to this. It's my son, Bo. I want you guys to see this one, the Super Saturday. Now, if you are a director on here, you got an invite via email. If you're not a director yet, if you hold it from 1 week before the event, you can go in person. I'm going to tell you this. It's coming up on June 7th. It's going to be Comp Plan 2.0. And I'm just going to tell you, it's more ways of making money. They had a comp plan upgrade after 21 years. And the word I want to stress is more. More. It's not the 6 ways of earning. It's now 9 ways of earning, right, guys? So there's more ways that LifeWave is going to be paying you, but they're going to go over Comp Plan 2.0 in detail so that you guys know exactly the upgrade and the changes that are happening so you can take part in this massive explosion of financial abundance. So that's going to be June 7th and down in Dallas, Texas. Again, if you got an invite via email, get registered because you can go live. And if not, there is going to be a live broadcast for all of North America. By the way, you don't just have to be director to attend the live broadcast online. You do have to be a director to attend in person. I'll tell you that. Okay, you guys got that? But if you want to do the online presentation, make sure you guys mark that on your calendar. The biggest question of the hour is, have you been patched yet? We are here in these Thursday night testimonies to inspire you and motivate you that you can take back your power, to elevate, activate, and regenerate your health. Again, all of our products, if you haven't caught the drift yet, All of our LifeWave products are free from drugs, chemicals, and stimulants. And like Erin said, they are for a purpose. You might need surgery if, you get your leg ran over. Don't just put a patch on. Okay. But for long-term health, this is how we're taking back our power. This is how we're changing our frequency to change our lives. So LifeWave does not claim to treat, cure disease. Only the big pharmaceutical drug giants can do that. As you guys know, I got started because of my beautiful, beautiful mama. She has healed beautifully, by the way. She fell and broke her hip about 6 weeks ago now. This woman's a healing machine. They had her on the treadmill the other day at PT. True story. So there you go. That's how that looks. And she was actually 100% weight bearing after 3 weeks. The doctor said, I've never seen anything like it. But I don't know about you. I really believe, I'm like Erin. I love so deeply and I care so deeply. And I know we want our aging parents to age well. How many of you want that? You can put yes in the comments if that's you, because I think it's so important to honor those who have gone before us. Just like I think it's important to honor those who have served in the military, like our beautiful friend tonight. But we got started because of that mom and dad. And I'll tell you what, let the generation continue because we are healing machines. We are here to break that generational curse of sickness and ill health and poverty. And we are bringing health back, wealth back, and joy back. So my dad, he had these oozing, goozing, awful legs, had those for 6 months. We could not get them well, and I'm very relentless. And unfortunately, they were not healing. He was more miserable than ever. And when my mom was walking without her walker on the 11th day of wearing the patch, offering to make breakfast, she had not laid a finger in the kitchen in 2.5 years. And she came out bebopping with those cute black and white polka dot pajamas, offering to make breakfast. I knew we had our hands on something extremely special. And that morning when my father was sitting at the kitchen table with these legs, I said, Dad, can we put a patch on you? And he said, I thought the patch was for Parkinson's. I said, I have no idea what it's for. I said, I just can't believe what I'm seeing with Mom this morning. This is a miracle. And my dad said, let's do it. We threw a patch on my father. We came back the next morning, you guys, to the picture on the right. That was 24 hours later. All the oozing goozing had dried up. You're free to use this picture, by the way. Take a screenshot, share it with the world. Bottom line is when we got back the next morning, my dad said, it looks like that little sticker worked. How do I get some more of those little stickers? And that is how we began this journey. But we've got a miracle inbox. If you stuck around us for a while, I mean, you would be just overwhelmed with the goodness of God. But the miracle inbox continues. It does not cease because we continue to share because we care, because we love, right, Erin? But the miracle inbox is vast. This is my friend Penny, her hands in 5 days. This poor woman dealt with those hands for 8 years post-chemo. They almost killed her. She lived by the grace of God, got on the patch. 5 days later, she sent me the picture on the right. She said, I'm going to tell the world about this patch. My goodness, I've tried everything in the last 8 years. Nothing has worked. And then this little sticker, right? But again, you don't have to be old. You don't have to be diseased to get rocking with this thing. We've got extraordinary athletes. In fact, somebody inboxed me today and they got this guy that's just like world renowned. He was on the cover of like these major magazines, major athlete, 1 million followers. And he's like, I want to hear about this patch. So we've got people that want better, more improved performance, better sleep, right? So again, this is for your athlete friends. As you know, all of our boys wear them, 25, 18, 16. Hey, this is generations of health and wealth. Bo, our son, also won the free trip. So he was out here in Park City, Utah. Him and his dad got to ride the U.S. bobsled. Woo! Down in Olympic Park. I took pictures. But I tell you what, those guys, they were like in the bobsled. I mean, it was just so much fun to see. So again, we're bringing joy. We're bringing adventure back to the family life. So if you're looking for peak performance or you know athletes, get them on this patch. They will thank you just for their muscle recovery and their increase in stamina alone. I mean, it's just incredible what my athlete friends are saying. David Schmidt, as you know, this guy's a total joy, lover of Jesus, 201 patents, scientist and inventor, 101 clinical studies. Again, you're going to hear about those brand new mitochondrial improvement studies with X39 at convention. Wow, wow, wow. We knew that worked. I knew that it happened because of some personal life experience with some mitochondrial testing. He just didn't have a patent for it yet. Now, I said to Scott, oh, this is why our family and our friends' mitochondria got better. It worked all along. We just didn't have the science to prove it. So you're soon going to have a document in a hand, a clinical study to say this patch actually helps improve mitochondrial functioning. But David really started focusing on age reversing in 2008. He said, we're going to focus on stem cell regeneration. We're going to figure out a way to activate your own body stem cells with light. not with a needle, not with an outside source, not with an exogenous source, but an endogenous source, your own. Endogenous means inside your own. And that's exactly what happened. 10 years, $4.5 million to bring to market the X39. And of course, the Navy SEALs are wearing these things 21 years ago. So I always tell my husband, Scott, listen, I'm not a Navy SEAL and I'm not an Olympic athlete like these female swimmers from Stanford that were wearing the patch. But some days I feel like I could be one. I'm just going to say that. I think I could be one. But the bottom line is they got started 21 years ago with phototherapy. So this is not a new concept. David is a genius. He's a legend in the realm of phototherapy technology. And remember, these Olympic swimmers, when they put these patches on, they broke their PRs in practice and 4 qualified for the Olympic swim team. And that's exactly what happened to my son, Bo. He started wearing the patch the last semester of college. His headaches went away. His feet cleared up. He's sleeping better, recovering more. And literally the last semester of college track, Division I athlete, he got so fast, they kept coming in drug testing him. They thought he was doping, you guys. 3 times he got drug tested in a semester, right? So, and that's exactly what happened with the female swimmers. The female swimmers, when they were wearing it during the Olympic trials, they had the patches on their shoulders. And the commentators, if you watch that old episode of ESPN, they said on there, what are those athletes wearing? We're going to have to look into those stickers on their shoulders. They actually took them and drug tested them because they thought that they were doping, just like my son Bo. But of course, when they tested the swimmers, there was nothing in the body that was illegal, because the only thing all of our patch technology brings into the body is a frequency, a spectrum of light. Okay, you're changing the energy, baby, with light. So how does this work? Your body emits light. Yesterday, I was at the event at Steve and Gina Merritt's. Kendall Weldon's husband is showing me a picture of a hog through a infrared thing. He said, look at this pig. And I'm like, holy cow. He goes, yeah, when I put this thing on my gun, he's a hunter. When I put this thing on my gun, it lights up all the animals in the forest at night. He goes, I go night hunting. I'm like, I'm going to get one of those for my LifeWave events so I can have people look at it. I'm going to host them at night and let them go outside and have the dog run around or something. But you are actually emitting light. We are light beings, right? Did you guys know, did you watch this CBN thing about a week ago? Christian Broadcasting Network came out and said that when we're alive, we're emitting light. Hello, the Christians are catching on. I'm like, hello, I've been saying this for like a decade now. But the bottom line is, and they said that when we die, the light goes out. Did you read this? You guys got to go watch this. This was on CBN. And so again, our bodies are emitting that light frequency, and that patch just sits on top of the body, absorbs the light, and simply reflects back into the body a specific spectrum, an energy, a vibration of light. That's all it's doing. So when you look at this, guys, we've got the patented technology. A patent lasts 20 years. We've got 16 more years to help a whole lot of people regenerate and activate their stem cells and make a whole lot of money. So if you're in, we're with you. Let's go. And if you're not in, put more patches on until you are in, because you obviously need to have a little change of your frequency. Okay, so here's a great book you guys can read. It's called GHK Copper Peptide for Skin and Hair Beauty. Make no mistake, this is not just a beauty treatment, because every organ, every blood vessel, every artery, every vein is made of collagen. So as we age, we want better collagen. We want stronger, more reparative collagen, right, guys? But in addition to the beauty aspect of this GHK Copper Peptide, just read this list down on the bottom. Get this book. If you haven't got the book, get the book. Fights pain and anxiety, increases nerve outgrowth, and strongly affects 700 nervous system genes. How about this? Repairs damaged DNA. Ding, ding, ding. We've all got that. Breathing creates it. Like, we got to get it pulled back together. Let's go. We got a solution. Restores healthy function in cells damaged by COPD. Protects lung tissue after acute lung injury. Come on. Increases the healing. Raise your hand if you want the healing of your skin. How about your stomach? How about intestines? How about your muscles? How about your bones? I mean, we should all have our hands up. So the bottom line is that's what that copper peptide does. That's what X39 does. We have 101 patents in regenerative medicine, 201 patents now, guys. Remember, all of this is for your benefit. We are here tonight for you. I want to hear your stories. It's not just about my stories. It's about your stories. Your story is the most powerful story in the room. But if you didn't know this, stem cells are incredible. When you're out of stem cells, you're out. You're off the planet. We want you here, right? So as soon as you put that patch on, the body is a regenerating machine. And remember, when people say, what's it going to do for this disease, that disease, stem cells don't know disease names. They just are the search and rescue mission military system for your body to go repair and regenerate. So they're going to go to those strong inflammatory parts to begin to heal, right? And healing takes time. You don't always see it happening on the external, right? When my age spot was going away, I didn't see it. When my mom's spider veins were disappearing, I didn't see it until 6 months later when she had a swimsuit on. I'm like, what happened to the spider veins, right? So a teenager has 1 billion of these, circulating stem cells, regenerating and constantly repairing up until age 20. At age 20 is when that number starts to drop. Okay. If you have chronic inflammation, that number is dropping faster. This is why so many young people have so many problems, right? But by age 30, if you're 30 on here tonight, you've got a 60% reduction. 50, you've got a 75% reduction. 60, a 90% reduction. You better be hitting speed dial after we get off this Zoom to get this patch on your body ASAP. Okay, because listen, at 60, we're fading fast. You got to get it going now. It's time to put the patch on and start regenerating. So by age 80, like my dad, a 95% reduction. Can you guys imagine that BME's 76 and has the real age of like a 35-year-old? That is just wild, isn't it? Isn't that awesome? That is proof of the patch. So again, this is phototherapy, patented nanocrystal technology, reflects your own body light to activate. Nothing is leaching into the body. The only thing coming into your body is light, baby. Light. No drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. And I love that it's non-invasive and $3.30 a day. 12 hours on, 12 hours off, like Erin said earlier. So a lot of people wear the patch during the day, take it off at night when you go to bed. Make sure you're well hydrated. Remember, electrolyte. When those electrolytes are higher, the patch is going to work faster. So if you want fast results, make sure you're well hydrated and have plenty of electrolytes, okay, guys? And you can wear more than one patch at a time. That's a big question we get. You can wear multiple patches. The benefits are profound. Check them out. Mental clarity, restored muscle. You heard all this tonight. You heard all this. You know the mental clarity is there. Look at this. This is amazing. I mean, look at this. This is no X39 in the first picture. That is a chronic inflamed brain. This woman was actually a fitness instructor, and she was having very much problems with her brain activity. And at 77, she was lacking brain coherence. All of that inflammation was getting in the way. Session 2 was X39 only. For 3 weeks, this woman wore the patch, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. That's 3 weeks later. There's not an ounce of red on that picture, you guys. We should be sprinting after our friends that are losing their keys 6 times a day. Seriously, we've got a solution, right? And so X39, first few days, those genes are resetting, whether you feel it or not, it's happening. Within 6 weeks, that brain is balancing out. So you have that good connectivity with all the parts of the brain. Your collagen is improving. People are going to ask what you're doing for your skin. And then within 6 months, David has proved now that our heart is reversing in age. And now that it's mitochondrial studies coming out, it doesn't shock me, right? So there's 6 ways of earning. The stem cell industry is huge, huge, huge. It's about to explode even more. We are the single only technology in the world that is utilizing a patch that is activating the body's own innate stem cells with light. We have no competition. This is like the winner's circle. All we do is win, win, win. Why? Because we don't have any competition. You know what? I'll tell you, I like not having the competition. It's just been a really fun joyride, literally. So remember, this company is not new to the phototherapy realm. David's a legend. 21 years old this year, 75 countries. There's people downstairs right now from all over the world. If you got friends in other parts of the continent, other parts of the planet, pick up the phone tonight and call them and say, hey, listen, I got something. I'm not leaving you behind. What do you know about stem cells? Baby, we're going to get younger together. Let's go, right? That's how those conversations go. 2021, 20 million a year. David was doing fine. But when he launched X39, you guys, look what happened. 2022, bam, 320 million. 2023, 430 million. Last year, over $600 million. And this is predicted to be LifeWave's first billion-dollar year. So if you've ever wanted to win in finances, this is your moment. This is your moment to take back your financial power. So we're the #1 momentum company in the world out of 500 companies worldwide. We got the Growth Award, which means we grew the most of any other direct sales company in the world. In 2024, 3,000% growth. We thought we were big shots because we got it. Guess what? They gave it to us again this year because we even have more global growth, you guys. So we are the #1 network marketing company in the world. There's 6 ways of earning, about to be 9. Everybody say more. More. There's more ways to earn. I'm excited about that. If you haven't got started, get back with the person who invited you on here tonight. Get yourself started with a wholesale package. Wholesale means you save the most money. Okay. I don't want any of you paying retail because eggs are expensive enough. Okay. So I want you paying the wholesale pricing. So wholesale price core is going to be $295. You're going to get 3 sleeves of the X39. You know, Erin mentioned the Eon. If you want to pick and choose other patches, just talk to your sponsor, talk to who invited you on here tonight. They will make sure that you get started with the right patch for you, but make sure that X39 is in that cart because that's the patch. That's the miracle maker, baby. And then advanced, of course, is the 6 sleeves of X39. So you're getting a deal. See that for $535. And then, of course, the premiums for the serious person who says, you know what, I got a mom, a sister, an aunt, a grandson. Get that premium pack, guys. That is a great place to begin because you save the most money. It's actually my favorite pack. And again, you can get those patches. You can wear them. You can share them. You can sell them. You can do whatever you want. But you need patches if you're in the patch business. All right. Importance of being on monthly X39 subscription. It's very important that you keep your account active. Listen, you guys, you got to keep your account active. You got to be on at least a 1 sleeve shipment every single month, 2 sleeve if you're maximizing the compensation plan. The company is not going to carry your points. Points equal dollars if you're not active. Why should they carry your points? They're not going to carry your points. Okay. For what? You're not active. You got to be active for them to carry your points so that you can always have those points banking because points equal dollars. Okay. So make sure you're on auto shipment. And then again, there's other ways to earn. I'm not going to get into them all tonight because they're about to be upgraded. I'm just going to tell you, get started ASAP. The compensation plan is out of this world already, and it's about to be upgraded. I mean, it's just unbelievable what we have our hands on. And so the team commissions, you can up to 25,000 a week. I'll just be honest with you. There's 400 people here. We were part of the first go around with 200. Now the second 200 are here. They're all senior presidential directors. So I'm not saying all of them are earning 25,000 a week, but you had 400 people here that a lot of them are. Okay. So because they can earn up to $25,000 a week. They're all SPDs. So that goes to show you that this thing is amazing. And a lot of people from around the world are winning. Even 76-year-old Bibi, right? Matching bonus, super cool. When you bring in a line of leadership and you help them to win, you're going to actually get a check match. So it's very important that you work with your people, you stick with your people, you help them to grow. Get to the events, get to these conferences I'm talking about so that you really have a working knowledge of the science and what you have your hands on. Okay, guys? But again, these matching bonuses, I'm just going to tell you, upgrade. They're changing those too, but they're still going to be not still going to be, they're going to be better than what they are. So it doesn't even pay to overgo. This is like old news for me now because I feel like the upgrades soon to happen. And I want you all to have your mind around the fact that you're about to make a huge generational wealth impact with your family if you choose to do this business. Okay. It's choice is up to you. You don't have to, you can just get healthy. But sometimes when you get healthy, you say, you know what? I want to travel more because my body feels good. I want to have some more fun in the sun. I think I'm going to take a beach vacation. I'm going to need some money to do that. Or you can win it. On our last free trip, don't forget, we had 93 people from our team alone that won this free trip. That's just from our team, Scott, and my team on down. Like, that's who won it. 93 people won it. The next goal, 200. Who's in? Who's going with us on the next trip? They're announcing it in July, and then you'll have to run for it. And I'm going to tell you, these free trips are something. Everything's free. I mean, it's like unbelievable. You have to earn it, but once you get there, I mean, it's all inclusive, right? So we're going to have a lot of fun with you guys. The best is yet to come. And again, get started tonight. This is the sign-up sheet. If you don't know how to operate the computer, just ask the person who got you on here for the sign-up sheet. They'll text it over to you. Get that information back to them. They will put you in the system. They will help you. There's a lot of elderly that don't know the computer. I have them fill out the sign-up sheet or just call me with this information. And I send this sheet over to them and I say, call me on the phone and we'll get you put in the system for the wholesale pricing. It's that easy, you guys. And remember, you guys can get on over to This Is It Info and This Is It Team. If you haven't gone there, that's the duplicatable business and health system. But again, let's just give a hand for everybody tonight. That beautiful Erin. Woo! I want you guys clapping for everybody. I see you. I see you if you're clapping or not clapping. Start clapping. Look up. Tony, look up and clap. I see you, girl. I'm seeing you over there, right? And then, of course, we're so thankful for Tiffany White. Sherry McCann, thanks for getting Tiffany on and Diane on. And thanks for serving, Diane. We love and appreciate you girls. Have a blessed night, everybody. The best is yet to come. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and shine his face upon you. And be gracious to you all the days of your life. Thanks for your testimonies tonight, you guys. Let's get out and be the light of the world. All right. Have a great night. Take care, everyone.
Love you.
Thank you, Erin.